You wake up and you feel like you don't want to do anything. You aren't physically sore. You slept for 8 hours. But the idea of answering an email, going to the gym, or even washing the dishes feels like climbing Mount Everest. Welcome to Dr. Levitas. Yet, weirdly, you have plenty of energy to scroll through social media for 2 hours. You have plenty of energy to play video games or binge watch a series. If this sounds like you, you aren't lazy. You aren't just tired. You are suffering from a dopamine burnout. The viral truth is that you have fried your brain's reward system with cheap thrills, and now your biology is on strike. You aren't physically tired. You are chemically bored. Today, we are going to dissect the neuroscience of motivation. We're going to look at how things like sugar, social media, and adult content act as cheap dopamine that destroys your baseline, why pursuing pleasure actually causes pain, and the specific protocols, from baths to amino acids, that can reset your brain and give you your fire back. Also, please take a second to hit the like button and leave a comment. Your engagement is a huge help to the channel. To understand why you feel empty and sluggish, you have to understand the currency of desire, that is, dopamine. Dopamine is not the pleasure molecule. It is the molecule of craving and pursuit. It drives you to go get things. In a natural environment, you get a hit of dopamine when you hunt food, build shelter, or find a mate. It requires effort. But in the modern world, we have cheap dopamine, meaning you scroll social media, that's an instant hit. You eat processed sugar, that is an instant hit. You watch adult content, that turns into a massive instant hit. When you flood your brain with these high-intensity, zero-effort rewards all day long, your brain panics. To protect itself from overstimulation, it downregulates, meaning it removes dopamine receptors. Think of it like loud music. If you are at a rock concert, you can't hear a whisper. Your brain has become deaf to normal life. The joy of a sunset, a conversation, or finishing a work project is a whisper. Your brain can't hear it anymore because it is waiting for the deafening roar of the next viral video. The mimic. Why burnout feels like fatigue. This state of receptor downregulation mimics physical exhaustion perfectly. In psychiatry, we call this the psychomotor retardation. Dopamine controls movement. That's why in Parkinson's disease, people physically cannot initiate movement. This is the pathology where dopamine neurons die. When your baseline dopamine is tanked because you burned it all out on cheap thrills, you feel heavy. Your limbs feel like lead. You think, I must be adrenally fatigued or I need more sleep. But you don't. You have plenty of ATP, your cellular energy. What you lack is the neural signal to use it. You are a Ferrari with a full tank of gas, but the spark plugs are missing. You can't start the engine. This is why you can lie in bed for 10 hours and still feel exhausted, and sleep doesn't fix a neurotransmitter deficit. Dr. Anna Lembke, author of Dopamine Nation, describes the brain's reward system as a balance, a seesaw between pleasure and pain. Your brain wants to be level. It seeks for homeostasis, the balance. When you do something highly pleasurable, like binge eating sugar, the seesaw tips to the pleasure side. But here is the catch. The brain hates being tipped. To restore balance, it doesn't just go back to level. It presses down hard on the pain side. Every high has a cost. After the spike, you drop below your original baseline. This is the hangover. This is you feeling anxious, irritable, and bored. If you constantly spike your dopamine multiple times a day, you never let the seesaw level out. You end up living in a chronic dopamine deficit state. You are permanently tilted toward pain. This is why the things that used to make you happy don't work anymore. You are in chemical debt. So, how do we raise the baseline without crashing the seesaw? We have to do things that are high cost, high reward. The most potent tool we have is cold water immersion. A landmark study published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology showed that immersion in cold water, from 57 degrees Fahrenheit or 14 degrees Celsius, increased dopamine levels by 250%. That is a lot of dopamine. But unlike drugs or sugar, which quickly spike and crash, the cold-induced dopamine rose slowly and stayed elevated for hours. This is because the cold is a stressor, a pain. By pressing on the pain side of the seesaw first, the brain responds by tipping toward pleasure to compensate. You are hacking the balance. You pay the price up front with the freeze, and you enjoy the reward with the increased focus all day. If you want to heal, you have to change how you get dopamine as soon as possible. You have to switch from consumption to creation. Dopamine is designed to be released during the effort, not just at the finish line. This is what we call the reward prediction error. If you scroll social media, the effort is 0, and the reward is variable. This is addictive but emptying. If you write an essay or run a 5K, the effort is high. You need to train your brain to release dopamine from friction. When you feel resistance, when you don't want to do the work and you do it anyway, you are physically building new neural pathways. You are sensitizing your receptors. Every time you choose the hard path, you are cleaning off the rust on your dopamine receptors. The more effort you exert, the more sensitive you become to the simple joys again. You cannot build a house without bricks. You cannot build dopamine without the key amino acids. Dopamine is made from L-Tyrosine. If you are burnt out, your brain might literally be running low on raw materials. Tyrosine is found in high-protein foods. These include beef, eggs, dairy, and fish. Supplementing with L-Tyrosine in the morning, on an empty stomach, can provide the precursor needed to synthesize your natural dopamine. It's not a stimulant, it's building block therapy. It's like delivering a truckload of bricks to a construction site that has stopped working. Suddenly, the workers, meaning the enzymes, can start building again. If you are in deep burnout, you might need a hard reset. This is the dopamine detox. The goal is to lower the noise so you can hear the whisper again. For 24 hours, you remove all super stimuli. This means no social media, no video games, no processed sugar, no adult content, no music or podcasts. You will be incredibly bored. That boredom is the medicine you are looking for. Boredom is the state where your dopamine receptors start to open back up, looking for stimulation. By the end of the 24 hours, a simple conversation will feel exciting. An apple will taste sweet again. A walk outside will feel stimulating. You have successfully reset your baseline sensitivity. Stick around for the doctor's verdict. Reclaim your drive. Motivation is not a personality trait. It is a chemical resource. If you spend it all on cheap things that don't matter, you will have nothing left for the things that really are important. Remember, you aren't broken. You are just overstimulated. Turn down the noise, step into the cold, appreciate the friction of hard work, and embrace the boredom. That is where the real high is waiting for you. I'm Dr. Levitas, helping you get your fire back. Watch this video suggestion. It was especially picked for you. Also share, comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It helps a ton with the algorithm. Remain tuned for future videos to empower your health and fitness journey. So, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep going.